Welcome to the Cobb Tank, where educators from across the district pitch innovative new ways to help students learn in the classroom. If the Sharks like their idea, they could be awarded the grant funding to make it happen. With dozens of ideas submitted from across Cobb County, these finalists have made it to the top of the competition. So now, who are the Sharks? Debbie Broadnax has been with the Cobb County School District for 19 years. Prior to working for the district, she was employed as a caseworker for the Department of Family and Children's Services for 10 years. Debbie taught at Compton Elementary and served as an assistant principal at Bullard, Cheatham Hill, and Powder Springs Elementary, respectively. She is currently in her 7th year as a principal at Powder Springs Elementary, an arts integration school. Debbie has been married to her husband Chris for 26 years, and they have 2 children, Ryan and Sydney. Javon Campbell, what do you look for in an 11-year-old 6th grade middle school student? Hopefully one that cares about manners, is dedicated to his work, has a broader societal view, respects everyone, appreciates differences, and is a well-rounded person. Javon Campbell is the epitome of all of the above. He is born to Jamaican-American parents and has 1 sibling. He attends McCleskey Middle School and appreciates all academic and specialized courses. Javon is a budding pianist, drummer, and guitarist, and he is a leader of the Cup Fillers, his church band. He volunteers in community help projects and brightens his corner with his manners and personality. Mark Justice joined Cobb EMC in 1997. Currently, he is the Director of Education and Community Relations. He's responsible for community outreach and education initiatives in 5 counties. Mark develops, maintains, and builds relationships with community leaders and organizations, represents Cobb EMC at community events, coordinates charitable activities, and supports Cobb EMC's mission of making a difference in the community. Fred Veeder has 16 years of experience in education. After graduating from the University of Georgia, Fred worked in the corporate world for 20 years. He took an early retirement and returned to college and received a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Kennesaw State University. He then completed the teacher certification program at Grinnell University. Recently, Fred was awarded the title of the Cobb County School District Middle School Teacher of the Year and later the District Teacher of the Year. He currently is a 7th grade math teacher at Dodgen Middle School and also serves as the coach of the math team. Dr. Ronisha Worthy is an assistant professor of environmental engineering at Kennesaw State University. She has served in that role for the last 5 years. Dr. Worthy is also the chair of the Southern Polytechnic College of Engineering and Engineering Technology Outreach Committee. This position allows her to collaborate with various community entities to promote and strengthen the pipeline of STEM students. Dr. Worthy lives by a Henry Ford quote that says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." Christian Suttle started his Cobb County School District career in 2000 as an elementary teacher at Eastside Elementary School and has served in several leadership positions, including Assistant Principal Athletic Director at Walton High School and Principal of Hillgrove High School. He now serves as the Assistant Superintendent and oversees high schools throughout the district. He is a loving husband and proud father of 5 current and former Cobb County students.
Our project is called Make Writing Right with Make Writing. So the idea is to integrate makerspace culture with writing. So one of the things that we found in our classroom, we teach 5th grade, is that our students have a lot of ideas, but when it comes time to write, they really struggle.
So Make Writing allows the students to actually physically build their ideas, and so they can use what they create to write about. And it helps bring their ideas to life and helps their stories and writing become better.
Our first finalists going into the Cobb Tank are representing Teasley Elementary School. Maria Braswell and Stuart Ogburn are seeking $10,000 to fund a Make Writing Right program.
Hi.
Good evening. When you think of these great works of literature, you think of great writing and great authors. When you ask our students who they want to be when they grow up, this is what they tell you.
I want to be a lawyer when I grow up.
A tennis player, probably.
I want to be an interior designer or a marine biologist.
I want to be a soccer player.
I want to be some type of teacher.
I want to be a pediatrician, a soccer player.
I want to have my own business.
Either a politician or a performer.
I want to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a tennis player. I want to be a teacher for kids with disabilities.
A photographer.
I want to be a soccer player.
You rarely hear a student tell you that they want to become an author. For some reason, in every other discipline, students can see themselves as mastering the content, but this cannot be said for writing.
Our students are natural thinkers and inquirers. They are capable of making many connections across a wide variety of content areas and disciplines. They have so many ideas that they want to share with us, yet as you will see in the following video, when it comes time to put those ideas on paper, the ideas seem to vanish.
The most difficult thing about writing is probably coming up with ideas.
Just coming up with ideas because it's so hard. Like, it's sometimes you have ideas, but it's not that good, and it's not like what you want it to be.
Picking one idea.
The thing that makes writing difficult is to think like other people and think like what they will get attracted to your writing.
The idea of a story.
Most of the time when I have like a lot of ideas, sometimes I forget them because like I don't have like my writing at hand.
Being able to fit all the ideas you have in your head into such a little paper in such a little amount of time.
Thinking of the idea.
Coming up with a plan and an idea what you're gonna write about.
Figuring out like deep words and the deep personalities of my characters.
So what if we could change that? What if we could take the innate curiosity and design thinking that exists within all of us and channel it into creating better writers?
Make writing has the power to change our students' perceptions of writing by making their thinking visible. Make writing combines a maker-space culture with writing skills and empowers students to bring their ideas to life. By allowing students to use what they create as a basis for their writing, students can take their abstract ideas and bring them to life in a tangible way.
With Make Writing, students build, create, tinker, sculpt, all while implementing writing strategies. Make Writing classrooms are dynamic and collaborative spaces that are full of innovative tools that allow students to use unconventional approaches to express their ideas.
By providing students with a different outlet for generating their ideas, they are better able to take their writing skills and strategies that they learn and apply them with any genre. Our writing lessons allow students to make and design under certain circumstances. For example, students are asked to demonstrate how a character changes over time within their narrative. This forces students to think beyond the surface and in abstracts and in metaphors and symbols, just like Elijah here.
All the grief and the sadness from losing Hannah and all the disasters and the cold and slowly eating away at them. So I made a cookie, and like this is the world on the outside, taking small bites of his whole entire life.
Happiness.
Amazing.
We believe that Make Writing has the power to reculturize the way that we teach writing, not only at Teasley, but all across our school district. Our students need an outlet for expressing their ideas, and we believe that Make Writing allows that to happen while promoting collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. We want our students to use Make Writing to empower their voices to write authentic stories in their own voice. So Sharks, we need your help in order to bring Make Writing to our classrooms so that together we can make writing right with Make Writing.
So Sharks, do you have any questions?
I think it's a wonderful initiative because I'm a teacher and sometimes I read this stuff and I go, I wish they could focus and put their words together in a way that would really express what they're thinking about. And I'm kind of curious as to how the lab works. How does this Make Right work when they get into the classroom? What kind of things will they be using? Just examples.
Sure. So they will use a wide variety of things. So it can be as simple as something Legos, paper, different consumables to take whatever it is, whatever genre they're writing, and create something that can be an anchor for what it is that they're developing. But it also can be things like they could use robots to show the development of a plot in their story. So one example, the students could create their story arc using a robot that they coded, so that, as they're doing those things, they really have to think about the details and the core of their story, which is really what's the challenge for our students. So we really think that by bringing in these different materials that they're excited to use, they'll start to think about writing in a different way.
Thank you. I love to read, and good reading comes from good writing.
It's true.
I'm going to go straight to it. What are you going to use the money for? How do you see the budget pulling together?
The money will provide us with writing materials, construction paper, Legos, Bloxels, a bunch of technology tools that the kids can innovate with.
Yeah, so we were planning to create some carts, some maker carts that will allow us to house the materials so that we can, roll it through our hallways and get it in the hands of all of the kids, as many kids as we can, because we really feel and have seen the excitement with our students. We started with just tubs, and they got so excited about it. So if we could have something mobile where they have a wide variety of materials that they can use, then it'll be really exciting for them to have the opportunity when they're writing.
Awesome.
I think this is a wonderful idea. My question for you, will this be K-5?
Yes.
Kindergarten
Yes,
through
we're
fifth
hoping
grade?
that it will be, right now we're piloting it with fifth grade because that's what we teach, but we really think that this has potential. It could even go beyond, because everybody is a maker and has the potential to be a maker. So if our students can make, then they can take what they make and write. I have a 5-year-old, he's in kindergarten, and I see that that's how he processes writing and language. When he has something that he can see, that he can manipulate, he's so much better at being able to put that on paper. So the same principle applies at any age.
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
I like the fact that you want kids to build on their ideas when they're writing, because me as a 6th grader, I've been through kindergarten and 5th grade, and that's one of the hardest things in writing. And I like the fact that you guys are trying your best to make writing ideas better and possible to be easier. And I like the fact that you're trying to do it here.
Can you give us an example of one of your finished products where somebody's actually gone through the process and they've completed something?
Sure. So actually, at the beginning of the school year, we read the novel Refugee, which is right up on the screen, and our students used what they created to develop the plot in their story. And we had one of the students in Mr. Ogburn's class, she wrote the most phenomenal piece of writing that I have ever seen. I've been a teacher for quite a few years, so it was really encouraging to see how far she was able to take her writing. And this is a student that has been at our school since kindergarten, and it was just such a different writing piece than what she's produced in the past. And so we, were really encouraged to see just the language that she was using, the complexity of her story, the way that she was able to make these characters feel like they were truly part of the novel.
Yeah, the way she developed those characters was just beautiful, and the language that she used, it was reading right out of the novel. It was just a story that took me in places.
That's outstanding. Guys, we really appreciate your amazing pitch that you've given us this evening, and you've given us a lot to consider here on the Shark Tank.
Thank you very much.
Love the shirts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
I think we did great. I think we're really excited about this project and the opportunity for our students to become better writers. So I think that, it was a little nerve-wracking at times, but we just powered through it, and I think we did great.
I think they really resonated with the idea that students have a hard time picking ideas to write about, and I think Make Writing will really help change that.
Our idea is the Team Player Classroom at Pebblebrook High School. That stands for Technology Enhanced Academic Mediator Classroom. And basically, what we're trying to do is make sure that we meet every student where they are in the mathematics classroom. So whatever stage you are, in whatever concept, we're meeting you where you are by making sure that the lesson is tiered specifically towards you.
The next finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Pebblebrook High School. Kenya Saylor is seeking $10,000 to fund the Team Player Classroom.
Let's go Falcons, let's go! Let's go Falcons, let's go! All right, good evening, Sharks. My name is Kenya Saylor. I'm a geometry teacher at Pebblebrook, and I specialize in curriculum and instruction.
And I'm Regine McKinney. I teach Algebra 1 at Pebblebrook High School, and I specialize in instructional technology.
All right, thank you. All right, so welcome to our program. So have you ever suggested for teachers to differentiate in your classroom? If so, this program is for you. The Team Player Classroom is a technology-enhanced academic mediator. So this is basically a program where it's student-centered learning communities, which is geared towards Algebra 1 and geometry, but can be expanded to all of the subject areas in the school and across Cobb County. That's our goal, which will allow students to be more move at their own pace. We will place students into 4 different categories based off the Cobb and the Georgia Department of Education learning level descriptors. So we have the distinguished, the proficient, the developing, and the beginning levels. So we're going to call them the lions, tigers, bears, and the oh my's. So for the first, the level 4 is your distinguished learners. So those learners here, they will have more complex reasoning, multiple steps, and then real world connections will be what they'll be focusing on in their lessons. For the level 3, which is the strategic thinking, we'll be looking at complex and abstract reasoning, justifying their responses, and making sure they have a deeper understanding of the concepts. In the level 3, we have the application part that we'll do, well, level 2, I'm sorry. The application that we'll use the deeper understanding more than the basic definitions, but we'll scaffold it and make sure we show them the how-to steps to approach it. And then the level 1, which is the beginning level, even though we're focused on recall and reproduction, we will use prior knowledge that they can build upon, then scaffold and begin to assist them with deeper knowledge. But the level 1s will only stay there for maybe like 15 minutes with the teacher led, and then we'll advance them on to the developing level.
Okay, so I know you're wondering, how is this different from just having computers or laptops in the classroom, right? So with our makeup of the classroom, as you can see, it's sort of U-shaped, but at each table, they're also sitting in U's. And that's for basically what we call the 3 C's of our classroom. 1, collaboration. Of course, you want to make sure that the kids are working together, but because the tasks are tiered, they are also learning to collaborate in tiers. So the first couple of tiers, they're kind of getting to know each other, trying to figure out how they think, and then by the time they reach tier 4, they're really working on something that's problem-based or case-based, which means they really have to get to know each other in order to figure out who's going to do what type of roles, okay? The second thing is community. Of course, with collaboration comes community, but we wanted to instill the whole mindset of, you know how we say it takes a village to raise a child? Well, for us, it's going to take a community to raise the self-efficacy of our kids. And for them to feel good in math, it takes a lot, but more so it takes each other. So they're going to build this community amongst themselves so that they can understand, hey, I can depend on you when I don't know. And even though we're all on the same level, you still may know a little bit more than me. And so let's work together to make this happen. And then lastly, for us, especially at Pebblebrook, it's the consistency of the technology. They will have this every day. Right now, we're on a waiting list. So every day a teacher has to wait list the technology in order to make sure they can use it in their classroom. So they want to work on something the entire week. You may or may not get it. And so that kind of makes sure plans, you know, up in the air, balls falling, and then that kind of kills what you want to do for your lesson plans. But in this case, this is our lesson plan. You know, constantly, they are the center of our entire instruction, and all they have to do is use the technology in order to make things happen. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to offer you a little demo, and she's going to walk you through what it feels like as a student, okay?
And this is a 3D picture of what the classroom will actually look like. So you'll get a feel of each student community working together, and the CPU or the smart television is acting as that teacher. So in a typical classroom, what we'll look at is we'll start like a day in a whole, to where at the end of one class period, when we're moving on to another topic, we'll do like a pre-assessment. Their pre-assessment will be between 5 to 10 questions based off the level, and we'll put them in 4 different categories. So if they score a 90 to 100, they'll be put in the distinguished group, where you'll have the activities will be more research-based, collaborative performance tasks, and they'll be creating their own notes versus being given notes. So based off what they've learned, they have to create their own notes. If they make between a 70 and I think that's 89, they'll have a little bit of guided notes, but it'll be more of a scavenger hunt. So they have to go out and look for it itself. Again, this is not notes that are given by the teacher. The teacher will pose questions using the teacher, the player, which would be that television, that will have everything on there. And they'll be a little bit scaffolded, and then they'll work through error analysis. So they'll have to be able to locate the mistake. At the developing level, which is 51 to 69, will be a pre-recorded video that will be done by the teacher, that will be catered based off what they need, and they will have guided notes there, so where they'll kind of fill in and work with the teacher. At the below level, which is 50% of below, those are my oh my, so they'll come with me and work at the kidney table, which is the one that's located here, and we'll form a small group, and I'll go ahead and address those misconceptions. But if you look at the technology, you'll see that there are only 3 levels on there. It's only the lions, the tigers, and the bears, because the idea is that the ones that's in the oh my stage will only be there for 15 minutes or less, provided the teacher-led direct instruction, and then we'll try to go ahead and push them on to the developing level.
So if you would like to kind of get a feel for where you are, pick a tier. You can be a lion, a tiger, or a bear from the first page, and that will take you to your lead page for your lesson. So as you notice, the very first thing that you see is what will I learn today? And basically that gives you the standard and the overview of what you'll be learning. If you scroll down, it says, how will I learn it? Basically, that's where our instruction takes place. This can vary. Sometimes it'll be videos, sometimes it'll be interactive demonstrations, things of that nature. And then lastly, you see, how will I show it? This is when they show and prove what they know, okay? And then if you could go to the home at the very top left-hand corner, I think it is on your pad. What you'll see, I want you to take a look at either one of the 2 tabs. You can see temperature check or culminating activity. Temperature check is their post-assessment. So in order for us to ensure that they can move to the next group, they need to assess. And then the culminating activity, which is where we're trying to get to overall, and like she said, our goal is to push this for the county, but virtual reality, so that they can get into a lesson wholly. And so this, right now, we're piloting Nearpod so that they can kind of get a feel for virtual reality and how to incorporate, and for this lesson, it was interior design, so how to incorporate math in real world.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much. So I'm going to start us off. Would this be used every day in the class?
Yes.
So you're going to design those lessons tiered based every day?
Yes.
And how many students, I know you said your big vision is to move this out throughout Cobb, but right now, how many students are you looking at servicing or units are you looking at purchasing right now for this program?
Well, we're going to use the Cobb approved resources like all the resources that are offered to us through Cobb using CTLS. So that will be the search engine that we'll use to create the lessons. And then we'll also use like WebQuest, Nearpod, basically all the resources that we can, Smartboard, all of those things will be incorporated into our lessons. So we're trying to use everything that we can to create those lessons based off the standards.
Right now for our classrooms, we want pilot in geometry and algebra 1 because those are ELC courses.
So how many other teachers do you have on board? Because how many geometry teachers do you have that are teaching the same thing? So our CCCs for Cobb, are all the other teachers going to be using this technology as well if you get this proposal approved?
Well, right now we have it. We was being modest with the because we didn't know.
So how much did you ask for tonight?
We asked for originally we asked for $11,000. That was to do 2 classrooms as a pilot. But when I've been telling the team about the proposal, they're all in. They're all on board, and they all want to do it.
Look like not to cut you off, but you said $11,000 is what you initially asked for. That was 2 classrooms.
2 classrooms, so it's about $6,000, a little less than $6,000 per classroom.
How many total classes?
In order for us to do the algebra 1,
each teach 3. So we're servicing about 90 kids each.
Okay.
And it can be used with every, like the curriculum that we'll create and develop can be used in every classroom. But the issue is the technology. Like we can only do 3 days a month using the computer lab because we have over 100 teachers, and I think we only have like 10 to 15 carts.
Okay.
So we have to share.
So the money will be used to purchase iPads?
For this dedicated classroom, yes.
Okay. I have a question for you. What is the teacher's role in this? Because it really looks like the children is very student-centered and as you said, like they are going to be pretty much responsible for their learning. So the teacher's role is to monitor students as they work, facilitate, answer questions.
Yes. And it kind of what I ran into is that we get used to teaching at the masses. So whatever the masses is for the class, so if the class is more developing, we have to teach at the developing since it's one teacher. With this program, we'll be able to develop the curriculum based off the needs of the students. So one subject or one topic, I may need 3 distinguished levels and maybe only 1 proficient or 1 beginning level, and that'll be available for them based off the needs of the students.
You just made my curriculum heart just shine because that was what I was looking for. Because it does have to vary from unit to unit or from lesson to lesson. So this can really be designed for the students' needs. Mr. Veter.
Yeah, I have a quick question. I'm looking at this, and it's Team Pebblebrook Weebly. Did y'all create this?
Yes, she's the instructional technologist person. She's a guru I've been going to.
Because I'm looking at it, I'm almost thinking like this was a commercial prepackaged thing that you bought because it's so impressive. I'm just like, wow. I'm a math teacher, so I'm just in love with this.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
So he thinks it's fantastic. He's a math teacher and teacher of the year for Cobb County, and I just want you to know that this is a great presentation that you guys have presented to us today.
Thank
your
you.
pitch is very sound, and I think it's very much so needed for your students as well. Thank you for giving us the additional insight into monies that you may need if you want to expand this a little bit further.
Yes.
Please, one more, Ms. Broadnax.
One more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do the touchstones fall into this?
It's right here on the screen. So we'll start off with the pre-assessment.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We'll start with a pre-assessment, and then the tier, like the post-assessments that y'all were able to click on, which is the temperature check. At the end, that touchstone mini is already incorporated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Outstanding. Thank you all so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really loved your opener.
I think it was wonderful. I think the Sharks believed in our program, our classroom that we're trying to develop, and I think we have a good chance.
I just, like she said, I really believe that they bought into our vision, and it was very encouraging to know that people really do understand our issues in the classroom and they're willing to support us.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous.
Same here.
We've planned, but we're hoping it all comes together.
Yeah.
We're doing a sensory/calming room for our students at Lassiter. Okay. So we're hoping it comes together.
That's what we're hoping.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
And we hope that you will realize that our students have a need and you'll give us our money.
Absolutely.
Our next finalist entering the Cobb Tank comes from Lassiter High School. Teresa West and Janae Lindbacker are seeking $8,255 to fund a sensory calming room.
All right, hi Sharks. We are from Lassiter High School, and there's a picture of our wonderful school. And we are here looking for a sensory or calming room for our students. So here is our team. And as you can tell, we are missing a Mr. Jonathan Farley. His baby girl came early yesterday, so they are at the hospital. So congratulations to him and his wife.
Yes.
And this is the rest of the team.
I'm Janae Lindbacker, and I am a special ed parapro at Lassiter.
I'm Leslie Miller, and I am a special ed teacher at Lassiter.
And I'm Teresa West. I'm a special education teacher at Lassiter also. All right, so here we go. So what do we want? Why are we here? So we want a sensory calming room. So you might be saying, what exactly is that? So for our students, we need a designated space. So we have a room that's been designated just for this purpose that will allow our students with special needs the opportunity to calm themselves down and focus. So we're hoping this will alleviate some of the discipline issues that we've been having and also give them a chance to not be so public. Sometimes they're out in the hallway. They're almost like they're on display when they get in trouble and get pulled outside. So we need a safe, calm place for them. So in that room, there will be some equipment, which is a little pricey. That's why we're here. Designed to appeal to their auditory senses, their visual senses, and their tactile senses. And there's an example of what we would like to do for the school. So you see there's bubble tubes, there's a projector, there's gel tiles, there's LED lights they can touch. They don't get hot, so they can sit, and some of them just like to sit and hold those. It won't burn them. There are things on the walls. So that's kind of an idea of what we're looking for our students. All right, and Leslie will talk about who needs our room.
So who needs this? Well, we have currently over around 20, a little bit maybe, a little bit more than that, that have been diagnosed with autism. And a lot of those students are sitting in our gen ed classrooms. They have to be removed from the classrooms because they get overstimulated. And there's a room for them to go in. And right now, we have these balls, too, and they just kind of come in and they just kind of bounce on them. And they do this multiple times a day. Yes. And they transport with them to and from classes. So if we could just kind of give them an area to where they don't have to take the balls with them, and it's a safe place for them. It's not going to only be used for the students with autism. We have some other students who have seizure disorders that have to be removed from the classroom, and it would just provide them a calming sensation as well, because right now they're just also kind of stuck in a room.
All right. And that's kind of what we imagine the student would feel. So you see all the different senses are being used all at once. And so it's just to give them a place to go, sometimes even before they have an incident where they might need to be removed from the class. Maybe we can even alleviate some of those instances if we learn to recognize the signs. All right, and Janaea will talk to us about the why.
So why do we need this? Well, Leslie kind of touched on most of it, but truly we have a conference room. It has a table with some chairs and a computer, and that's pretty much it. They will come in there if they are feeling overwhelmed, overloaded. We may take them out individually, or we have some students that actually just run to the room because they know that they need a quiet place to go. So that's what happens. We take them to that pretty much empty, cold conference room with maybe the ball. One of the students will take the ball with them. Some of the students won't. We may bring in some certain things to maybe the stress ball and that kind of stuff for them to use. But really, they don't have anywhere else to go. Lassiter barely had room for this one room, but we got it. So that's why we're here. We were able to get that room to use. So, I mean, really, it's a need.
All right, so what happens to a lot of our students when they get overloaded, some students will shut down. You've probably seen students that put their hands over their ears, kind of fold themselves over. But unfortunately, number two is what's happening a lot at our school lately. It's not just one or two, it's become quite a need that, they're in the classroom, there's conversations. Of course, we're trying to integrate them into the regular classroom, what is what we're supposed to do. Right. But sometimes it's just a bit much for them. There's teachers talking, students talking, lights, there's videos playing, and they just become overloaded. So our current sensory equipment is limited. We talked about the ball, and then it's kind of sad. This is what we have to give our little kiddos right now. We have some ribbon, we have a football, and some Play-Doh. That's kind of what we were told to buy. So if we were given, of course we want our sensory room, our calming room, but we would also love to have some calming boxes or break boxes for specific classrooms that those students were in. Maybe again, we can alleviate some of the issues that they're having before it even starts. So here are some of the items, and after it's over, you're more than welcome to come down.
You'll be able to
see everything.
Kind of the idea.
And this is a weighted blanket. It's very heavy, and we're hoping, and also it's very soft, so they can just sit in the class, maybe even before they start to have an issue, and just kind of calm themselves, give them some more independence, and maybe not need so much disciplinary action.
And then we have some of the fidget cubes and the fidget spinners. And then we have this little doohickey here that kind of stretches.
Yes. And of course, these, which you guys already got to play with, these are wonderful. Like even us, we don't have sensory issues, and we're just like, these are amazing.
Presentation.
Yes.
Come in here and
of course, just for even some of our LD students, ADHD students, my son uses these. I brought some of his. He has ADHD, and he just sits at school. So he's not even focusing on this. He can listen to you versus getting caught up in what's going on in the classroom. So we have these, we have all the fidget spinners. The kids love these, but they get distracted. So we have anything, that's what we'd like to have in a lot of the classrooms with students with anxiety. We have a lot of students with severe anxiety that are having issues. General ed, special ed, everybody that needs it is welcome to it. Of course, we're gonna have some rules and regulations that go along with that. We can talk about that if you have questions about it. But we just think that this would just be great for the entire school. All right, let's see what's next. It's time for a demonstration. Now, we know that some people have light sensitivity, so we're just going to do the demonstration with one of us because some light sensitivity can cause seizures or different things. So Ms. Janaea is going to be our subject here.
Yes.
So we're going to try to give you just an image. We've talked with some of our special needs students with autism, because again, we have different spectrums. Some of them can tell you how they feel, some just show you how they feel. So this is kind of what we imagine that they go through on a daily basis. So you want to have a seat on the step?
Where? Oh, here? I'm like, huh?
Okay. You want to flash one of these? All right, so what are you going to talk about?
So I just got this new dog, and
my child
he's
won't
so
stop
cute.
talking. He just talks all the time, and he's getting in trouble at school.
We
don't know what to do. Do you have any advice? Do you think that they could do that? Do you think they could not suspend him?
And
we don't know what to do.
Got along so good with the other dogs.
Did you understand that? Do you understand the math problem? Can you tell me?
No.
What's going on? Can you do your work? You're not doing your work? No. And of course, it continues to escalate. Like some of our students, we've actually turned into like throwing things and having some incidences at school. So we just, again, that's not even the beginning of what they go through, but that's kind of what we imagine that they feel.
All the things coming at them at once and not being able to verbalize really what's bothering them or even demonstrate what's bothering them. They just kind of shut their eyes, put their hands over their ears, and then we bring them to that cold conference room. That's really all we have.
All right, so again, we keep talking about where we are. This is where they are brought. This is the only room that we have. Not to complain, but it's not very, not very appealing to your senses. And then a lot of times too, we were talking earlier that a lot of the students have their IEPs here. So they're thinking, this is where I'm hearing that I'm always in trouble and I'm not doing well in school. And where do you have to go? The same place that I listen to negative comments about myself. So they usually need to be removed from the classroom. So either they get put here, which again is more of, I feel like they're isolated a lot. A lot of them feel like they're just kind of separated. But then two, our only other choice is to put them in the hallway and they're on display, especially if they're very loud. People step out of the classrooms. That's happened a lot lately, and people are watching them. And so they don't like that feeling either. Sometimes it escalates the behavior. So we're just trying to find a nice, safe place for our students to go. So imagine changing that room into that. That's some of the equipment that we would like to have. We have our bubble tube. Again, it does not get hot. They can just sit. That's a padded surface. It goes in a corner, and they can just sit, and there are mirrors. It makes it look like there are more, so they can just sit and touch it. They have the LED lights, and that's a beanbag chair. So they literally made into the chair. And then we also have a projector. And we could also have gel tiles, tactile wall. We'd like to have a tent, and also they can just have strands of lights. And again, there's many, many more things. We could just keep going with the things that we like in our room.
The tactile wall is textured, different things
Yes.
on there. So
and there's
some of our
grass, there's
kids just
seashells,
wanna-
there's soft rocks, there's all kinds of things. And we have so many students with different needs. So we're hoping that you will help us go from this to this.
So what do you say, Sharks?
Ta-da!
I say thank you first for allowing us to see your vision, and the pitch was very good. I have just a quick question right off the top. You say that you don't have a lot of space at Lassiter.
Yes.
But you were afforded a conference room.
Yes. Yes.
But that conference room is being used for IEPs as well.
Not any longer.
If you convert that room, is it still going to be a functioning space, or are you going to have this totally as a sensory room?
It's just a total
sensory
sensory
room.
Yes.
We got the okay.
Yeah, we just changed that room to a conference room this school year.
Okay.
So they're not, the teachers aren't used to really having it as a conference room. So it would be just going back to the way it used to be.
Great, great. Other Sharks? All right, Mr. Vita.
Right now, it sounds like the room that the kids are going to is just cold and almost like institutional.
Right.
Is there anything in there at the present time that's permanent, like on a wall or anything, or is it just like that?
It's just
It's
everything.
everything
is
can, yeah,
And then
can be
you're going
moved
to
out.
transform it, and there'll be permanent things
Yes.
on
Yes.
the wall,
Yes.
like your.
Yeah, we've got permission that this is our room, and as long as we get approved, we can do whatever we need to do with the room.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it would probably be a little bit safer than it is right now, especially for one of our students who has seizures. And,
Yeah.
she has a shunt, and she was seizing multiple times a day. And it was very difficult it would take two of us to just hold her chair because all the chairs are wheeled.
Behind her is a concrete wall. In front of her is a table, and she's on a wheeled chair. So it's
just
two or three
safe.
people to make her safe.
I like the presentation and everything, and I like to see the before and after of what you guys wanted. But what if this plan doesn't work out, and do you guys have like a plan B?
I think if we had a plan B, it would be to do a PTA grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved your demonstration. I thought that was powerful, but it made me think, are you sharing some of this information with other teachers so that they're aware of what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, they were. When we got approved, I sent it to our supervisor, and he sent it out to the special ed department. So we're going to work with the MID. We have a Haven program. We have MID, MOID. And so they're all going to work with us because each classroom has specific needs. So it won't just be for the students with autism. It'd just be anybody that could use the room that are in their classes, and anyone else that we designate as needing the room.
Well, and there's a lot of our gen ed population who also have severe anxieties. And so, it's going to be an open door policy, but there's going to have to be some sort of restrictions for that open door policy because you just don't want everybody coming in and out. Because there's a lot of equipment that could get damaged in there.
Right.
And so.
And that's leading to my next question because I saw the room and I want to be in there and I want to lay out and I want to touch on. So what is that policy, or how are you going to go about trying to form that policy to make sure that the students that really need the room are able to use it?
Well, right now, for all of our conference rooms, we have a sign-out sheet if you're going to use it, or even if I had to take a student out and I needed to block out an hour, I could sign out even though I'm not a certified teacher. But I think we were discussing kind of doing that, or maybe even excuse me, if one of the other paras just needed a few minutes with a student, they could come in. If no one's using it, then it's, pretty fine. But we wanted to have always someone in there with the students. So we were kind of going to tell them, if you really feel like you need you need to tell it, need to use the room, please tell someone, maybe one of the paras or someone can take
There
them
has
out.
to be an adult with them. They're not allowed. Then another thing that we were talking about, and it would be part of the funding, would be a keypad, because we know that, even though they're not supposed to, a lot of people get the master keys at the schools. So we would really like to have a keypad entry, because there's some very expensive things that we want to put in there, and it's for a purpose. And so again, it's high school. Some students want to come in and, this will be fun. And we can't have that. That's not for them. And then we also want some of the students, actually one of my students on my caseload will be using the room. We can use it for therapies, like the physical therapist can bring them in. We thought about maybe if allocating funds, I didn't think to put it on the budget for some iPads for the students and the Apple Pencil, because some of my students have needs with their hands, they can't write. They could do physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy in the room, be safe, calm, and also it could be used for more than one purpose.
And even the counselors, if they needed to bring someone in that maybe is having a meltdown of some sort and they felt like they could use it, it would be open to them as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for the presentation, especially for the example Mr. Justice said. That was very powerful as well. And your pitch was very solid, and we thank you so much for giving us a glimpse at what your before and after could be at Lassiter High School. So thank you guys for coming in this evening.
Thank you
for having us.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
It was good.
It was good.
I think it went really well.
Yeah, better than I expected.
Yes. It was a lot of fun. It was not intimidating. It was just a lot of fun.
I think they were receptive to it.
They were definitely asking a lot of questions, and they said that it was powerful to them. So that's some good words.
I think they really enjoyed the demonstration.
We're going to have a garden where the kids can go in and meet their sensory needs with their touch, feel, smell, with different motor skills going on. And as we did that, we realized that we can incorporate the entire school in that aspect and use it also as a learning center.
We're going to incorporate science, art, music, a little bit of PE as far as the gross motor skills, and anything else.
And this will meet the needs of all of our students at camp, since we are working on our STEM certification. So the teachers will be able to use this space as well with their students to meet those STEM needs.
Our fourth finalist going into the Cobb Tank, coming from Kemp Elementary School, is Pamela Henderson. She's seeking $10,000 to fund a sensory garden at Kemp.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi Sharks, my name is Pamela Henderson and I am a small group teacher of kids with autism in kindergarten through second grade at Kemp Elementary.
And I am Lisa Jacoby. I also teach autism in grades 3 through 5 at Kemp Elementary.
I'm Eileen Hodges. I'm the occupational therapist that serves Kemp Elementary.
And I'm Ashley Crumbly. I'm the instructional specialist.
We're here today to propose our idea of a sensory STEM garden at Kemp Elementary. Our idea came along when we were, Lisa and I, were looking for an outdoor area for our kids to meet their sensory needs. We wanted a safe, convenient, yet larger space than the classroom for the kids to be able to explore those ideas. We quickly started talking to our teammates about it, and they gave us more ideas, and we learned that we can really use this space for all kids at Kemp Elementary.
So we all process sensory information. And in fact, it starts before we're even born. And everyone's familiar with the 5 basic senses, but not everybody knows that we actually have 2 more. There's also proprioception and then vestibular processing. So the ability to take in this information, to process it, to interpret it, and then to use it for functional and consistent outcomes is critical. It is critical for the development of every child, for their ability to learn and to be successful in school.
One of my greatest passions as a special ed teacher is having my students integrated with their gen ed peers as much as possible. I am so fortunate to be at Kemp where we have administration, teachers, and students that all want to be involved with our students that are in special needs. So right now, we go to all specials except for STEM. And the reason we don't go to STEM, you will see in just a few minutes in our video. I have a very, very active class. We thought about bringing a couple of them, but we really didn't want them running across your desks in front of you. But they are very active, and going into a STEM lab where there's a lot of glass and they have to sit on high stools and their feet can't touch the ground, so they can't be grounded, is just not very good for them. So we bring STEM into our class. But in my dream, I would love to see Gen Ed fifth graders take my special ed fifth grade students out to say a sand and water table out in the sensory garden and show them how erosion happens. And if my kids jump into the sand and water table, it's okay. They're not going to make a big mess in a classroom. But they love when Gen Ed kids teach them. That's one of their favorite parts of the day.
Not only would a sensory garden meet the needs of these students in these classrooms, but all students at Kemp. We are working on our Cobb STEM certification this year, and we have identified our outdoor space as one of the areas for growth that we really need to work on. So as we start revamping the current garden that we have out there, as well as the compost bin and the rain barrel and those things, we think that the addition of a sensory garden would just amp it up a little bit. And all teachers could take their classrooms out there and just use their STEM lessons to add this component of real-world outdoor learning. Not only would all teachers be able to access it, but this area would be adjacent to the music room, the art room, and our science lab, and so they could take their classes out there as well to integrate those standards.
Let's take a look at the video so you can get a better look at what we're talking about.
But research shows that sensory play supports cognitive growth, problem-solving skills, and memory functioning, which is important for all students. This proposed sensory garden would provide an area for general education students to explore and investigate science standards such as sound in first grade, demonstrating push and pull in second, and observing how parts influence each other in third grade. This opportunity can provide valuable multisensory learning for all students.
Teachers spend each day trying to engage their students. In academics, differentiation is necessary. Sensory stimulation is no different. Some children have unusually high or low activity. They may be in constant motion or tire easily. Some are impulsive, easily distracted, frustrated, and aggressive or withdrawn. The impact of sensory input affects everyone differently.
About the possibility of a sensory garden at Kemp, not only for our students that are in self-contained, but it can really help all of our students at Kemp. General ed students also have sensory needs that it can help. It can support our STEM initiatives, and as we're working towards STEM certification, and just give our kids a great place to go outside and explore and just enhance the instructional experience.
Many of Kemp's general education classes now utilize alternative seating to accommodate all students' sensory and learning differences.
We're looking forward to having the sensory garden at Kemp so that in my kindergarten co-taught classroom we have children who need large motor sensory breaks, and that would be a perfect place for us to go, and while we're there we can do other lessons with our class and be able to utilize that area for all students.
Recently, we took our classes out to explore the present garden area.
There's nothing to do out here. This place is no fun.
I like gardens.
After that feedback, we shared with our students what we dream of turning this rundown area into. A broken walkway can become a beautiful barefoot sensory path. Wire fencing can be converted to a sounds and musical paradise, a place to discover sounds produced by vibration and invent melodies from everyday objects as well as musical instruments. An unused but valuable piece of land can be turned into an outdoor science laboratory filled with gears and simple machines. Students will play in sand and water tables while investigating floating, sinking, and weather erosion. Climbing equipment, funnels, tubes, ramps, scales, thermometers, and magnets will help all kids learn about motion, gravity, energy, measurement, and weather. Empty garden beds can become areas to investigate soil and plants, as well as enjoy the olfactory benefits of an herb garden. And this is how we felt about the news of a new sensory and STEM garden.
That's it!
We also have for you a board up here that gives our layout of our garden and some more information if you'd like to come down and take a look.
Well, we thank you guys so much for the video and for the information that you've given us. I'm going to open it up to some of the other sharks first for some questions. Mr. Veeder.
Yeah, all those pictures, I had no idea there were so many different instruments. I had no idea there were so many instruments that could be used for the, sensory. Are those part of your proposal as part of the expenses?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have on there PVC pipes, so it sounds like a simple instrument, just cutting PVC pipes to different lengths. We also already have a drum donated to us. We're going to have wind chimes, all sorts of things. And we've asked our music teacher also to help us with some ideas on what to incorporate in there that she may have that we can already put in there as well.
If we grant you this, is what's the timetable for completion or near completion where you'll have, a good percentage of this in place? For the
we definitely want
children.
the whole thing in place by the beginning of next school year, depending on how the weather goes. Since it is an outdoor thing, we have to kind of play with the weather. But our idea is as soon as we can get the funding, then we start clearing out the space that's already there to begin building up and putting things into place.
Wonderful. Y'all are angels.
Other sharks? Mr. Justice.
Who do you have in mind to do the work? Is it going to be the school teachers, the community? What's the plan?
It's kind of everybody, really. I mean, the teachers are going to be involved. We also talked with PTA. We've asked Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts who need service hours to come and join us. I'm also working very closely with a landscaper and a general contractor to kind of give ideas and make sure what we're putting in there is safe and grounded the right way, because we don't want anything to fall apart on us as well. So we've kind of got a whole group of people just working together along with just volunteers who would like to come out.
Outstanding. There's Shark Broadnax.
Thank you. The gardens that you have currently, will you be able to take those and transform them into your proposed garden?
Actually, the space that we have now, we have a smaller garden on one side of it, and then we have a pavilion on the other side. So this space used to be a bigger garden area that just over time, the groups who were taking care of it just stopped. So I look at it as just a wide open space for us to start again and really make that to where it's manageable for the entire school to be able to use.
Outstanding. We're going to let our youngest shark Javon, go ahead and ask a question.
Before I ask a question, I like the general idea that you guys are doing this not for yourselves but for the students. You guys said you wanted to make a garden that includes stuff to help them learn. Is there anything else you want them to help them learn?
Well, for our students in our special needs classroom, it'll actually give them a place so they are able to learn, so they can get out their movements and they can get out their sensory needs. And with a pavilion beside that, our students can actually go out there and we can have class in the pavilion while the others are meeting their sensory needs, and we can pull one at a time. So they're actually going to be able to learn better. And then all the other classes will be able to go out and use it as STEM needs and music needs and all of those educational.
And if I could add to that too, I think, sometimes we take for granted that when kids walk into the building that they're just ready to learn. And that's just not the way it is. And it's the same with us as well. Sometimes we're sitting and we're supposed to be listening to somebody, and maybe we're distracted by somebody or something, or we're uncomfortable the way we're sitting or whatever it is, and it's taking our mind away, and we're really not there. We're not absorbing the information the way we could be if we were totally there and comfortable and ready to learn. And a lot of kids, special needs or not, we all have days where we just need some help to be able to learn. And so it's not only providing the information, the academic information that's out there, but it's helping prepare the body to be able to learn.
Thank you.
Well, Team Kemp, you guys have presented a great proposal for us tonight. We see that you have a great space that you're going to be able to utilize as well. So thank you, and we appreciate you coming in and sharing your story and sharing your vision for the STEM Garden.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
feel great about it. I think our idea went over well of our sensory and STEM garden. I think the Sharks really liked it, and overall I feel great about it.
We're excited about our plan. We felt like it was well received, and we're excited about putting this plan into motion.
Our project name is Kihili Video Production Project and also Film Festival. So we're trying to, we like to request laptops and lightning source where we can create educational videos and then share with other students and in the community in order to spread the benefits of educational student-centered instructional video.
Next up is our finalist from Kahili Elementary School, Michelle Yu, who is going into the Cobb Tank seeking $2,000 to fund the Kahili Video Production Project.
Good evening, Sharks. Good evening. My name is Michelle Yu. I'm an art specialist at Kahili Elementary School, and we're going to jump right in and show you what we like to request. Here we go. Awesome.
Lights. Lights, camera, action. Hello. Good evening. My name is Karis Diaz, and I like to help my art teacher. Hello, my name is Zachary Farron, and I like to help my art teacher, and I'm in 4th grade. Hello, my name is Liam North, and I like making art videos.
So Sharks, our project is called Kihili Film Project and Student Film Festival. This is my 9th year teaching art and my first year at Kihili. When I started teaching at Kihili, I realized that students at Kihili love making videos. In my classroom, I had different studios set up, such as drawing, painting, collage, puppet, and also I had green screen set up. And every time we have studio day, students beg me to be on the green screen studio. So, without further ado, I'd like to show you what my students have made.
One action! At Kahili, we love making videos for education, but we don't have all the right gears we need. We have made puppet shows, instructional videos, how to clean up videos, safety videos, music videos using the green screen in the art class, and we would like to expand our video making skills to a whole new level. We are using our art teacher's personal camera to record our video and using the computer that doesn't have the right software. We need one Mac Pro with Final Pro Cut, a microphone, a tripod, a light source, and the online video training subscription. And these are the videos we have made.
I have a growth mindset, and I can do lots of stuff because I can try them.
I'm going to make myself disappear. You are?
Every 4 years, Americans who are 18 or older have a big responsibility. Our votes decide who becomes the President of the United States. Unfortunately, the U.S. election system isn't that simple. This is a
So these are some of the videos that we have made and some of the videos that we'll like to make, incorporating green screen, stop motion videos, and common craft videos that involves teaching academic contents such as ELA, math, social studies, science. Also our school focus is reading, so I love having more students create read aloud videos. Also some of the other topics we can touch are growth mindset, leadership education, college and career information, digital citizenship, and there are so many different possibilities that we can use the video editing hardwares and softwares. Because right now, all the videos we're taking, they're raw images, raw videos. So they're not edited. So we'll like to make more professional, educational, instructional videos. And also, we can always collaborate with media specialists who's already doing a lot of broadcasting with the KNN, the students broadcasting team. Also, maybe we can do vertical collaboration with Cal High School, Kennesaw State, possibly Cobb TV. So there are many different ways that we can go with this video project. So I asked my students what kind of videos they would like to make, and these are their answers.
I want to make a video about how the growth mindset works.
I want to make a video about people to stop bullying. Everybody out there, make sure you don't bully.
I want to make a video of how to speak French.
Bonjour.
I make a video about James Overthorpe. I want to make videos about how to do origami.
About multiplication.
I want to
One-digit multiplication.
make a video about two-digit multiplication. Videos about fossils. I'm going.
All right, so in addition to academic contents videos, we can we can definitely touch the base on career and college readiness. As many of you know, that Georgia's film industry is booming. As you can see, it brought like 9.5 billion economic impact to Georgia. So this could lead for a possible career consideration. And here, Zach, he actually wrote his own script, which he brought today. So I have lots of students who are very interested in producing videos. So not only we need the hardwares and softwares for video editing, we also need online training programs, which are they're all online subscription. So I'd like to ask for subscription to Skillshare or lynda.com, subscription to Adobe Suite in order to continue the education of video editing, not just getting the hardwares and softwares. And also students will be able to keep track of their learning on video editing. So they're going to have to keep track of the accountability of video editing. And so what are we going to do with all these student-made, student-centered videos that we make? Well, in May, we would like to have one night of Kihili Film Festival. We would like to invite students, teachers, administrators, community members, and of course, everybody tonight to our Kihili Film Festival. We would like to have the film festival all student-made, student-led. I would like to have student MCs, student greeters, student ushers, and we'd like to show our student videos, educational videos, and also we'd like to have a little Student Academy Award. We'd like to have a Best Actor, Actresses, Best Director Awards, giving out the trophies made out of sculpture, like made out of clay or found objects. So there's arts integration as well to this project. So Sharks, if you could fund our funding, we'll like tonight, then we'll like to invite you to Kihili Student Film Festival in May.
Well, thank you so much. That was a great presentation. At this time, we're going to give some of our Sharks an opportunity to ask some questions.
I do have a question. Once again, this is an awesome idea, and it sounds fun, and it sounds like you're engaging with all of your students. Some of the other Sharks and I talked about this a little bit, and we noticed that you're only asking for $2,000.
I'm very moderate.
Could you use more funds? Are there other things that you could potentially purchase?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely like more hardware such as like Apple TV, so that we can just streamline the videos, not just like with the cables and wiring back and forth. That cuts down a lot of time. Also, I love to get some Legos as well, because our school theme is around Lego as well. So we like to make stop motion videos, green screen videos using the Legos. And then, I mean, you can go on and on so much, but I mean, we have the cameras, so I was trying to be moderate and humble.
Well, don't be too moderate. This is the time to ask. We can't promise anything, but we do like what we've seen so far. I do have a question, and we're talking about funds, and Liam, I'll give you a chance to go here in just a minute if you have something else for us. You talked about subscriptions per year. So that's a renewable subscription per year?
Yes, sir. So for
how much is that around?
I believe around $100 for Skillshare, and for lynda.com, I think we could use the Cobb County Public Library subscription, and then we can get by. But Adobe Suite, that wasn't on the list. But I would love to have Adobe Suite so that we can have Photoshop, Illustrator, so that we can work on the motion graphics. It's the little, they can create the intro videos, like the title, fancy titles of the videos using those programs.
That's great.
And that runs about like $200.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you for giving us more information. Liam, did you have a question for us?
Yes.
Or some more information for us?
Yes. I was just saying we could also use a little bit more money to buy at least a tiny camera so we can film videos so it's not all shaky. So if we do put it on our whiteboards at school, it won't make you feel like motion sick.
Yeah, nobody likes to be motion sick, do you? And Sharks, you like motion sickness? No? So we're going to let Shark Justice.
Do you have tripods at the school?
We don't, but however, I'd like to request it in the grant program as well. So, and also we requested a lighting source as well, because I don't know if you saw in the video, but our green screen studio is just a little dark, dingy area, a corner in our art classroom. So we definitely need a lighting source. We're asking for the tripod as well.
Very good point. I think one more Shark had a question for you guys as well, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
So, like she said, you have a big amount of money that you have the possibility to get. What other achievements, other than making your students' ideas come to life and their videos, what other achievements would you want to accomplish?
If possible, I'd love to upload the videos, student-made, student-centered videos to either Cobb Ed TV or YouTube, some other platform, so that we can share the educational, instructional videos, not only with Keeley students, but everybody in the community, everybody in the Cobb County School District.
Thank you.
Well, that is a very good pitch that you just gave us. We appreciate you guys coming in tonight and showing us the wonderful things that you do at Kahili, as well as the opportunities that you may be afforded if you get the money from us Sharks up here tonight. So thank you for coming in, and you guys have a great rest of your evening. Great job.
Thank you. We were very nervous, but we were having fun, actually. We were enjoying it.
So our idea is a sensory garden / outdoor classroom. And we think that it will impact our community by bringing in our parents, our kids, our staff, our clubs and different organizations, by bringing them all together to make this an outdoor area that we can all use and enjoy.
We think it would be great to help our Champs kids and all the kids just get together to enjoy the outdoors.
For our 6th finalist entering the Cobb Tank, we have Amanda Wilhelm, Casey Lee, and Tracy Fields representing Lost Mountain Middle School. They're seeking $8,000 to fund a growing Can-Do Learners sensory garden.
Good evening, Sharks. We are here representing Lost Mountain Middle School,
And we're here to ask for $8,000 for supplies for our students to be able to build a sensory garden / an outdoor classroom. Now, I know that the burning question is, how did you come up with such a great idea? I know, right? Well, our middle school is currently going through the process of STEM certification. And so some teachers were sitting around and we're brainstorming what was a project that we could get all of our students involved that would benefit everyone in our school. Our special education students, our regular ed students, our staff, all of our teachers, our clubs, our parents, everybody. And one thing that our school is lacking is an adequate outdoor area. There you go. We thought, why not? That's the project that we're going to do because we honestly believe that we think that this would help bring everyone in our little school and hopefully in the community together to do a great thing for our kids.
Hello, my name is Quinn Grismala. I am part of the KICS program at Lost Mountain Middle School. The KICS program is where kids from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade will take time out of their ordinary day classes and go spend time with our CHAMPS kids. Our CHAMPS kids are our special needs kids at school.
Hi, my name is Reese Edwards, and I'm going to explain the benefits of the sensory garden at our school. The CHAMPS kids would get to have a bigger outside area to spend, and they would get to engage in their learning. The students could focus here, and they can just spend this time to relax and calm down after a long day.
So we decided to start this off. I teach 6th grade math, so I challenged my advanced 6th grade math kids to research and to design a prototype of something that they thought would be an excellent addition to the garden. That's all the directions that I gave them. So when they came into class, they had already had to have an idea in mind, and just with the supplies I threw out at the front of the room, had to come up with some kind of a design. So I brought some of my students with us tonight to explain 3 of the designs that the classmates came up with.
Hi, my name is Jessie Franchell, and today I will be presenting to you the prototype of the sensory wall. And on top of the wall, there will be blocks that are different textures, and under the wall, there will be a pole with a soft texture on it, and there will also be a great place for students to sit and chill. And I think this would be a great thing to have in our sensory garden.
Hi, my name is Lindley Warren, and I will be presenting the sensory dream catcher. This dream catcher has seashells on the bottom so it makes noise in the wind. Since I work with the CHAMPS kids, I think this would be a great thing for them to be able to create and put in the sensory garden.
Hi, I'm Mary Moody. This prototype was made in math class also. Each of the letters will have a different texture on it. The pots will also have different flowers with a unique smell or texture. The pots could also have sensory items such as kinetic sand or pebbles.
So our kids had a really great time, obviously, designing and coming up with the ideas, and that's the enthusiasm that we want to spread to the entire school. We've already got the high school physical science class that is willing in the spring to create instruments as a part of their sound unit that will go out into the space. We're going to put weather equipment out there so that the 6th grade science classes can use it for data collection. We want our 7th grade science teachers to use it, and we want the entire school to just become a part of this space and designing the whole space for us. So we don't want to go out and buy pre-made stuff. We want to be able to buy the supplies and let the kids really do the design and take ownership of it.
As you can see, all of these materials for our sensory garden can help kids have a good day.
I would love to have a sensory garden in our school so kids could just be free and enjoy time outside.
I think this would really benefit our CHAMPS and have them another space to do all of their work.
Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And we hope that all these reasons can show you why we would like a sensory garden at our school.
Well, Lost Mountain team, we thank you guys for a great presentation. We do have a couple of questions. We even have a resident 6th grade shark on our team.
Yes.
All right, so he may have a question for you as well. Who would like to throw one out there?
I'd just like to start off with a comment. I think it's just a wonderful idea, but the thing I like most about it is the teachers turned it over to the kids to let them show what they would enjoy and what their peers would enjoy. And I think the CHAMPS thing and doing it for the other kids is just wonderful. And you guys have huge hearts, and I bless you all. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think our sixth grade shark has some questions for his sixth grade peers.
Bring it.
Good evening. So, what I was wondering, well, my name is Shavon, and I'm also in sixth grade advanced math. And one thing I would like to know, what's different? Because there's a lot of other people on this list who also had sensory gardens. What's the difference about this one?
I think our difference is that we are letting the kids be in control of it. So you as a sixth grade student would come into class one day and you would have to figure out not just, okay, we have to do volume today, but you've got to build a flower garden box. How big does it need to be? What does the length and the width need to be? How are you going to figure out the volume of that? You got to fill that with potting soil. How much do you need? Because we're on a budget. So everything is turned over to you. You guys are in charge of taking over.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear from Dr. Worthy.
I know that, and first, by the way, I thought that this is an excellent project. I loved all three of the designs that were presented here today, and I hope that you use the engineering design process in order to make all of that happen. And by the way, these ideas are very detailed, and they look rather expensive. Like, what are you going to use this money for if we give you the $8,000? Which of these designs are you going to implement?
All of them. The wind chime, like Lindley said, we would love for the TAMS kids to make those. So collecting seashells and getting the seashells. We have a very involved community, I think, at our school. And anytime we put anything out there, if we were to send out a Sign Up Genius and say, hey, we need some seashells and some feathers, they would be donated. They would come in. And so
we also want to really incorporate our connections, our art teachers and our music teachers and orchestra and PE, and we know that will have a lot of these materials, or they will have ways to get them for us. So we really want to make sure that we involve them and reach out to them and say, hey, this is what the kids came up with. What can we do? What can your class do for us? What can you get for us? How can you make this work?
And we've also reached out to Alatuna High School, who has the carpentry and construction classes, and they have agreed to, as long as it fits in with their schedule, build the things that we need for them to build. So,
I think that's awesome that you're integrating with the high schools and everything. Ladies, I love that you're all ladies. Oh my goodness. Could you use any more money?
We can always use
yes, we could.
Yes, please. Because the space is for our CHAMP students, we need to put a fence around it. And so that is something that we are going to have to get bids on and have professionally done. And so not knowing initially how much that cost is, we kind of had to estimate that. So that kind of leaves up, depending on how much of our budget that would eat up, that kind of leaves the amount of space that's left. But with so many of our teachers in our school willing to take that on as a classroom project, a lot of that stuff is going to be done by the kids. So we have our child labor.
Well, let's not say it so much like that, but I do like that emphasis. So, okay, so let's use some estimating skills.
Yes.
Throw out a number. You say $8,000. Throw out to us, what offense do you think that might help towards that area?
So we initially estimated the fence at around $3,000 as a part of that. But again, without the bids, we're not sure. And so that we have a big space available. And so the size of the fence and how much of that we can afford would kind of determine the amount of space that we can have. We've also come up with other ideas to put picnic tables out there, that kind of stuff. So
you're not picking up what I'm putting down. So I'm going to ask Reese,
do you want to know
Jesse,
how much money?
Lindley, and
money
Mary. And what was your name right here?
Quinn.
Quinn. Pass that microphone down and y'all throw a number out there. So
how
we
much
can,
do you want?
How much money do you want?
So you're asking for 8. She said another.
Here we go.
Quinn, you might need to give the microphone to somebody else because you're thinking too long. Let's do some quick math. Y'all listen to me. Let's do some quick math, all right? You asked for $8,000. Estimated might be another $3,000 for the fence. How much money is that? Because I got to write a number down if I'm going to have a debate later on with these sharks.
Over 10,000. There you go. Answer.
Over 10,000.
Over 10,000? All right. Does that sound like something we can debate maybe later on? All right. Yes?
You think we need more than that? Shoot for the moon. They're like, what? That's a lot.
Question for you about the materials for the Lost Mountain Middle School. What I'm trying to read what's written on there. I can't.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Take the mic.
yeah.
Take the mic, Jesse.
This one is Velcro.
I thought it said Velcro.
This one is pebbles with glitter and paint.
Okay.
So that would work with our art class.
Yes, and this one is our AstroTurf, and this one is bubble mat. So it's all different textures on each letter.
I love it, guys. Thank you so much, Lost Mountain team, for a great pitch.
Thank y'all.
And a great opportunity for us to hear your proposal. So at this time, we're going to ask you guys to allow us to just debate over your pitch this evening, and we thank you for your time.
Great. Thank y'all so much.
I thought we did good because I know how a lot of people did want sensory gardens today, and so I thought we really did good with having children like being in it and kids and participating.
I thought we did a great job. I thought we did awesome. This was a great experience. I love that they got to come along and that this was really, the girls were great. This was kind of their thing, and I love that they were here with us to do it. We appreciate it. It was awesome.
Our idea is to expand our Life Lab. The way that it impacts the community is that agriculture is actually Georgia's #1 industry. So as we're teaching and laying that foundation for our elementary students, we are helping prepare them for Georgia's #1 industry.
The next finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Baker Elementary School. Kimberly Hutchison is seeking $10,000 to fund the Baker Life Lab.
Hello, guys.
Hello. Hi, I am Kimberly Hutchison. I'm the Innovation Specialist at Baker Elementary. We are here looking for funds to help advance our Life Lab, which has become a very large part of our STEM program. These are a few of our friends from our Life Lab, Peter, Paul, and Harry. And then I also have 2 students with me, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Jaya, and I'm in 2nd grade, and I'm excited to tell you about our outdoor classroom that we like to call the Life Lab. My favorite parts are the trails and gardens. I like taking care of the gardens, even pulling weeds. And in spring, my class studied about butterflies and life cycles, and if we get this grant, my class will be able to build an indoor butterfly habitat inside of a greenhouse, and we will be able to give our butterflies a place to live and grow.
My name is Maddox, and I'm in 2nd grade, and I'm really excited to build our butterfly garden.
We submitted our application video, and we really wanted to show you what all we've been doing for almost 4 years, and kind of show you where we've been, what we're doing, and where we want to go. But we had to make it in 1 minute, so it's super fast. So we thought tonight, since we had just a little bit more time, we would slow that down for you. So we have a PowerPoint to show you. than what you guys saw in the beginning, but hopefully it explains a little bit more about who we are. It really has become such a big part of what we do, and so many lessons, far beyond even the classroom lessons. We can be having just a regular work day, and there's 10 mini lessons in that work day as we're working beside each other, pulling weeds and planting and things like that. It's amazing just how much they want to be a part and do the work. They beg, hey, can I get the wheelbarrow? Hey, can I get the shovel? So it's just a tremendous opportunity that we have. So we're ready to go to the next level, and which means that we do have a covered area, but it's not. It's more for teaching, where they're sitting and listening. We would like something where they can actually do work at tables. So we're looking to have a covered workstation. We also want to have an indoor greenhouse. Right now we don't have the indoor facilities to keep something going all year long. Our second grade, as Jaya mentioned, is they study life cycles. So in the spring, they take the caterpillar to the adult butterfly and they let them go normally. What we'd like to do is create a space in our greenhouse where they can live similar to a small version of what's at Callaway, the Butterfly Center, so they can have their entire life cycle and keep creating more butterflies, and we can all watch that, and the entire school can be a part of that. In addition to that, we had a 180-gallon fish tank donated, and what we'd like to do is turn that into aquaponics. So we just need the fish and the starter kit and plants and lights for that. So we need you guys to help us out with that. And we would like to invite you down for just a minute if you'd like to. We have some treats from our farm, special from Henny Penny and Princess, Black Panther, and Redneck, are 4 of our first chickens that second grade hatched. They are now hatching their own eggs. These are fresh eggs. They have not been washed. When you wash them, you have to refrigerate them. So just FYI, but we would love for you to have it because this has been an excellent experience for us.
Well, we are excited. And Maddox and Jaya, if you guys get excited about pulling weeds, we're excited for the project that you guys showed us. And thank you so much for bringing your bunnies and for the eggs as well. We will get an opportunity to come down in a little bit and see, but I want to open it up to our sharks if they have any questions. Okay, Ms. Sharkworthy?
Yes, so I see you brought your bunnies and I saw the chickens. Any other animals that you have?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
We have hens that we like to keep in this big cage, and there's this thing that we do like after school, and we go out, which we like to call Fort Baker, and we like to go outside and feed the chicks, and also we get to go in the hen's house and give them their water and fill it up with our hose.
You all are awesome caregivers of all of those animals. This is an awesome project, and I'm looking forward to seeing it come to fruition.
So outstanding. Who's up? Sharks. Let's go.
Ma'am, I have a question for you. How many animals do you have in your facility?
In our facility, we have 5 bunnies, and we have 14 chickens. They're all hens. Actually, we think one of them is a rooster, so he'll be going to visit the farm. We're only keeping the hens. But we have all male bunnies and all girl hens.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shark Brunax.
This is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful proposal. I'm very excited by it. But my question to you is, this experience for your students, is this part of a specials rotation for them?
I'm the Innovation Lab Specialist, so I have get to see these kids once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks,
So,
okay.
and we have a green team, and we have 4 days a week, we have a gardening club in our after school.
Okay.
So it's a daily And then, of course, we have each one of the grade levels are doing year-long projects. And so all but fourth grade are doing year-long projects around the Life Lab.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, Baker, we really appreciate your proposal for us this evening. Your pitch was great. We thank you again for the eggs, and Jaya and Maddox, you guys did a great job. We thank you for coming in. And if we don't have any other questions, we'll get a chance to come down in just a little bit after you leave and see the rest of your setup. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you. I felt really nervous. I don't feel nervous because I'm.
It was a great opportunity, wasn't it? It was fun. Everybody was friendly.
And I liked how the judges were smiling when we were put on our slideshow.
Currently, we have a small garden in our schoolyard, and we want to use the money to transform our little garden into a 5-census garden with ADA accessible walkways so that all of the children at Varner are able to participate in outdoor experiences.
Yeah, we're just really pumped. We're excited. This is going to transform our school. It's going to bring a whole new element to our school, something so exciting that the kids can all get excited about and passionate about, and can just bring their day to life, add passion, and getting outside is just so important to these kids. Recess is not enough. So we're going to add on to that, and we're going to let them explore outdoors as part of their learning experience.
The next finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Varner Elementary School. Sarah Dowell is seeking $10,000 for a sensory garden.
Well, good evening, everybody. Come on in. Hi. Hey, guys.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Cindy. We're co-teachers at Varner Elementary. And I'm Kara Williams. I'm Kara Williams. I'm a PTA vice president and a huge STEM advocate at Varner. We'd like to tell you about our big plans for our sensory garden at Varner Elementary. We're so excited. 2 summers ago, Sarah and I went to teacher camp at the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center, and we spent a week, and we got to hike in the woods, and we canoed in the Bond Swamp, which was super fun, and we got to test the water for safety, and we did some fish. I don't even know what it's called. We played with fish and to see about their health. And it was just a great, great week. And we came back going, we learned so much, and we never sat in the classroom the whole time. And as co-teachers, that's really important for our population.
So a week after that, I traveled to Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I stumbled upon a 5-census garden that's adjacent to the Michigan School for the Blind. I was inspired. In fact, I woke Cindy up and FaceTimed her at 7 o'clock in the morning because it was so incredible that I wanted to share it with her. We talked about it, and we just really felt like our students at Varner, especially our students with learning differences like autism and ADD and sensory processing issues, that they would really benefit from having a place like this during the school day. But then, as we started kind of planning it, we realized that not only would just our students with learning differences benefit, but all 800 students at Varner would benefit.
All that said, I'm going to give you a little bit of facts here so you can get to know Varner a little better. So 16% of students at Varner are students with learning disabilities. 13% of students are English language learners. And 31% of kids at Varner are in our early intervention program. That's half of our student body population. So tonight, you're gonna get a chance to get to know some of our kids, and you're gonna get to meet some of our amazing students that show the beautiful diversity of Varner. We're so excited. So a sensory garden will provide the opportunity for everyone to go out and experience the outdoors safely with all 5 of their senses.
And sensory gardens, they provide opportunities to increase community or communication skills, to build background knowledge, and to improve self-regulation, like emotional regulation.
So at the beginning of last year, we went in for it. We surveyed the parents, we surveyed the staff, and we actually got some pretty good feedback. We were like, oh, let's go for it.
Yeah, so we found out what we hoped was that parents and the community, or parents and staff, were willing and they were able to support us and to collaborate on building a garden.
So PTA got to work. We started building connections in our community, some strong community partnerships.
So we now have kind of a small garden, but we have a garden and it's fabulous. They love going out there. We have 10 4x8 beds. And there's some sensory elements to it. We have a lot of pollinators. This time of year, it's a little on the deal, but it's okay. So,
yeah. What? Sorry. Oh, we applied for it and we won an impact grant. And with impact grant money, we're able to buy wind chimes and gazing balls and other sensory elements to add towards the garden that we're hoping for today.
So these steps have planted the small seeds to transform our current school garden into a full-blown sensory five senses garden. We're super pumped about it. It's going to be accessible for students with cognitive impairments, communication disabilities, and mobility constraints.
So this is where you come in. This is where we beg and plead, and we will take the Cobb Tank funds and have 5 gardens for every sense in like a very large part of our school grounds. We're really excited.
We'll be able to build a tactile wall and walkway.
A fence to keep the kids safe.
And a pergola, as you can see, which will be fabulous, which we will use for outdoor classrooms. And they can explore negative and positive space. They can do shadows. They can explore value ranges and colors, shades of gray. Like, I'm ready to get started. So.
And finally, ADA accessible walkways. We have students who come to Varner at age 3 and enroll in our special needs pre-K class. They stay with us. They continue into the mild, moderate, or severe and profound classroom, where a lot of times they're there until age 12, which means that they're part of our Varner family for 9 years. And that's a really long time for them to have limited access to stimulating, developmentally appropriate activities outside.
So please, we want to invite you all to come down, meet our students, and explore your 5 senses in our traveling garden beds. PTA, the staff, and our community are all in. Are you?
Well, I will tell you, that's great. We are going to come down. We love the Varner Viking excitement from you guys. We're going to come down and have a chance to see some of the beds that you have out here, and then we're going to come right back up, and we'll have a couple questions for you as well.
Awesome.
All right?
Frank, you want to show the frog? What?
You want the frog?
You want the frog or the gourd?
Thank you guys so much. Carol Williams.
Nice to meet you, Carol. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yes, hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah, oh, good. Come explore the garden. The kids are prepared for your questions.
My daughter, Mary, you can show it? You don't want it? You want me to hold it?
You want my mother would know.
What do you like?
Or petunia? I have no idea.
He likes the touch one is his favorite.
Are they labeled?
You like to touch them?
Pansy, there you go.
You want to show him the board?
Aren't they beautiful?
You want see if he wants to touch it?
Blue Bear touch it too.
Yeah.
Frank, why don't you tell him about our hearing garden?
It'll be huge. This is just a sampling. We just wanted to show you guys the different boxes to kind of get you into what it's going to be like to have those different senses.
No, we believe in going outside, weather.
Do you guys want to tell her what you're excited about?
So warm clothes. Yeah, the pergola, it's got plexiglass on top. So the top.
Tell her what you guys are excited about the sensory garden.
No, I mean, maybe, but it's up against the building, so that kind of, like, it's near the building, so that'll help with that. That'll help shield, but, you know, I grew up in Michigan and Seattle, where we went outside every day, rain, snow, whatever. So I know it's different, I know, but the kids, as soon as we get out there, the kids are peeling their coats off. They're like, I'm hot, because they're running around, and yeah, exactly.
Come back up to the
So, thank you.
It does.
Do you want to let him? You want to try
You can't. Exactly. I'm Kara. Nice to meet you, Debbie. We're so glad to be here.
Just rub that in.
You guys did awesome. Thank you so much. Aren't they great kids? I even tried a bit of the food. Oh, yes! Oh, you tried some. That's awesome. Good.
Okay, so we asked a lot of questions while we were down there from the Shark team, but I'm going to start us off with, you talked about you have right now 10 beds, 10 4x8 beds right now. Where exactly is that located on the campus, and will this be the area that you're going to use for the full garden if you are awarded this money?
Want me to answer? Yeah. Okay, so I have to use my hand, sorry. So when you're looking at the front of the building, on the right-hand side there's a small preschool, special needs preschool playground, and then there's the walkway, and on either side are the beds right now going like out this way to an access road. So from the way we have the design drawn out, from the kind of the back, maybe it's, I think 84 feet back and 40 feet wide. So it'll include that, those small beds will go, because we're not doing raised beds, we're actually planning on berms and like a, kind of a real garden.
But they'll still have, each grade level will still have, so it's all, we're just expanding what we have instead of starting over.
That's great. We just want to make sure you have the room to go forward with this project.
It's maybe about 40.
Ms. Broadnax?
I have a question for you. Once again, I think this is just a fabulous idea, and I was talking to the young ladies there, and one of them said what she loved about it so much was that when kids are upset, they can go there and help them to calm down. And we said, well, how can you be angry when you look at something so beautiful?
Yes.
So my question to you is accessibility for each grade level. Is this a sign-up process where teachers get to go out and take their classes? How are they rotated through? How does that work?
Well, and we're kind of looking at what our what our staffing will be like next year. And so we may have a sign up, but right now classes just go out when they want to.
Okay.
So.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's great. So throw the number out there that you're asking from the tank again before we wrap it up.
Show them your list.
So our grant was for $10,000, but we heard a rumor that there may be a little extra.
So how much money are you asking for right now?
So we do have Varner's wish list.
All right.
And I mean, how high can we go? Because
So how high can you go?
I mean,
how much?
If we add all of this up, that's so the 10 already, and
Don't
then
be
another
nervous.
8.
Divide,
9.
flip the two, and carry the one over.
I mean, maybe 25.
Maybe 25?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll write that down, and we'll consider.
I mean, if
this
you
is
just
your
wanna-
time to sell.
If you just want to pick something out for Christmas for us, we can leave our.
There you go. I will tell you, my hands smell like great lemon balm that I got to see over there. So we will definitely consider that. Varner Vikings, you guys did an outstanding job with your pitch today, and we really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Yes. All right, come on, guys. Let's go.
It went great. We were super excited to be there, and I think that the judges noticed that, and the judges were really open and receiving, and so I feel really great about it.
I do too, yeah.
Anxious, eager before.
The hard part's
excited
over, yeah.
after. Yeah, super excited. Really proud of the kids too.
And the kids are so excited. They went upstairs with huge smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for their presentations. It was really good, and it was a really good worth of time spend it on this, and
Point at each one.
wait, I need the paper.
You're gonna say the school's name? Is that why you want to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's start.
All right. Teasley Elementary School, you will be getting $10,000.
So you just say you're
Oh. Teasley Elementary School, you'll be getting your full funded amount. Werner.
Say it a little bit louder. Keep going.
Werner Elementary School, you will be getting your full amount. Kahili Elementary School, you asked for $2,000.
Whoa. Just tell them what they're getting the full amount.
You're getting the full amount.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Kemp Elementary School, you'll be getting your full amount. Pebblebrook High School, you'll be getting over your full.
Your full amount.
Full amount.
Just say it for every one of them.
Lost Mountain Middle School, you'll be getting your full amount. Lassiter High School, you'll be getting your full amount. And last but not least, Baker Elementary School, you will be getting your full amount.
So thank you guys so much. Devon, you know, he said it. We want to make sure that you guys can make your dreams come true by awarding you your full amounts. We appreciate every one of the pitches that was given tonight. We know you put a lot of time and energy and focus on making your school and your environments better for the students that you guys service as teachers and also that you have for your fellow classmates. So we thank you all. And as he said, you all get your full amount. So thank you so much.